Finally, after more than 4 months, I'm just days away from finishing learning how to handstand. There are many days I never thought I'd get here. I thought about giving up at least 50 times. Days when I didn't feel like practicing or days when I made no progress whatsoever. I wish I could show you every day I spent 1 hour trying to learn this because it really wasn't a typical learning experience. Some stories of accomplishment are that of a profound realization where like one action or defining moment leads to the grand completion of a trial or experience. Other stories still are that of continual growth where there's this constant struggle between challenges and then overcoming those challenges. This story is textbook Sisyphean. That ancient Greek guy Sisyphus, whose eternal punishment was to roll a boulder up a hill only to have it roll back down when he almost got to the top. My high school English teachers would be so proud. I would go days or even weeks without being able to hold a handstand longer than like 1 or 2 seconds, like literally just kicking up and then falling over instantly, like 100 times in a row, like spread over days. And then I would hit a day where I could hold it for like 5 seconds multiple times, like more consistent and for longer. And then after one day, maybe 2 days at the most of being able to have that like increased ability, I'd go right back to where I was, just falling over continually. It was like I made no progress whatsoever. The Sunday that this video is posted will mark 112 days since starting to learn how to handstand. And even though this is 1 hour a day, emphasis on a day, I didn't practice it every day. I knew from the beginning that I couldn't do something so physical every single day without eventually injuring myself. And you might remember from my first or second video of this series that I was planning on visualizing each other day so that I'd give myself a chance to recover. Well, this is a good idea in theory. It didn't account for the fact that sitting still for an hour is about as fun as watching my videos. I thought that because learning how to play chess blindfolded was essentially the same thing, right? Sitting still for an hour and just visualizing the board, I thought it'd be the same for handstands. But I soon found that the difference was that while chess was mentally stimulating and it was always a challenge and it was always different, right? It was always a different game. Handstands were just essentially replaying the same thing over and over again, right? I'd visualize myself doing a handstand, eventually falling over, and then start again, do a handstand, fall over again for an hour straight. Imagine rewatching the same 10-second clip on television for an hour straight. So my 1 hour a day of practice quickly turned into 1 hour every other day, but I was still determined and I was still really conscious of micro adjustments I could make to, say, my hand positioning or my shoulders, just to make sure that I was doing the handstands as effectively as possible. I'll wait until next week's video to get into more details of my journey learning this, but just know that the vast majority of days I was practicing, I was making almost no improvements. Like you could pick a random day, say day 50, put it side by side with day 5, and you would not be able to tell the difference, except for maybe my crazy quarantine hair. But after so long doing this with no progress, I started to lose motivation. Throughout July, I stopped practicing consistently, maybe once a week or twice a week at most. And then once August hit, I stopped practicing altogether. You're probably wondering how I went from completely quitting just a couple months ago to now finishing learning how to handstand, making videos right now on how I finished learning them. And because I want to make next week's video the finale that really encapsulates everything I learned, I'll stop the video here. That video will be out exactly 1 week from now, so that Sunday will be my last day of handstands. And then following that, I'll be doing a new 1 hour a day learning topic. I still haven't figured out what I want to do for that. So if you want to have a say on the next thing that I spend 1 hour a day learning, just leave a comment on what you're interested in seeing. If I like your idea, that could be the next skill I start learning. See you next week.